Good having you with us here for the Lucas Oil Online Race Report, KentuckyAutomotorsports.com. I'm your host, Craig Hoffman, racing expert Scott Douglas. We're going to talk about the big next Sprint Cup race in a minute, but before we do that, Lucas Oil, great for your car, winter, summer, spring, you name it. But they support a lot of drivers and tracks around the country.
Absolutely. Great grassroots sponsors of racing. And if you're at a racetrack or you're watching where the sport really got going, you see Lucas, but also you see them at some of the highest levels as well. So they're great sponsors and great products. They go together.
The next big race in Sprint Cup, hey, it's like the high banks of Salem, but it's the high banks of Bristol. They'll pack him in there, and anything can happen at Thunderdome.
There is nothing like this racetrack, and again, it's they advertise it as the world's fastest half mile. Anybody can dispute that with those high banks, the tremendous speeds on such a short track. It is a unique event, and one that most race fans will tell you need to go at least once in life. You got to go to Bristol.
Well, we had Dale Jarrett on our television show, Kentucky Automotorsports, a few years ago, and he said you have to go once in your lifetime to Bristol, especially that night race. And by the way, we're going to tell you, Kentucky Automotorsports, the television show, can be seen on WKYI TV, which is inside 138. On UVerse 24 and with that digital antenna 24.1. We want to welcome Alan Williams Jr. here to Kentucky Automotorsports. He races at Salem. He races at Sportsdrome. He probably puts a little Lucas Oil in his car, but good having you with us. You're going to be racing at different tracks this year.
Yeah, we're gonna field 2 cars this year at different tracks.
So I know you're going to run the Drome. Tell us about that program.
We're running Drome and Figure 8 again this year at the Sportsdrome. We ran it in 08, won the championship, and we're going to try it again this year.
And your sponsor, McDonald's.
Oh yeah, Kentucky and McDonald's, they're great support.
Well, let's talk about the tracks in Kentucky. Alan Williams is joining us here. Local track schedules brought to you by, hey, let's say McDonald's and Lucas Oil, made in America.
And sold to the world now. And you know a lot of these tracks, but let me start with one of the finest dirt tracks in the country. You want to get on down to Bluegrass Speedway. You can see first race night, April 16th. And as you're a racer, you're talking about your tracks. Boy, it's just around the corner for everybody.
Oh yeah, we're all gearing up. It won't be long, they'll be here.
Let's talk about Twin Cities Raceway Park. That's in North Vernon, Indiana. They're getting ready. One of the first tracks to open in our area, and their first race is March 19th. Then you talk about the Sportsdrome in Jeffersonville. That's where you will be this year. I know you're getting your car ready right now.
Oh yeah, every night in the garage. But we're gonna be there for the opening practice on the 19th, and then opening day on the 2nd.
You're right on it. And of course, Sportsdrome gets it going beginning of April. Junction City will wait till the middle of April. Great little track down in Junction City, Kentucky. It's called Ponderosa Speedway. Head on down and enjoy some great racing.
And then the Salem high banks and the low banks on the short track. You're going to do the short track this year.
Oh yeah, the opening night there is for the 27th.
Yeah, March 27th. Yep.
We're going to be on the short track then.
One thing before we go on the Lucas Online Race Report, you've been an oval champion for years. You won a Dromer Figure 8 championship not too long ago. But how do you go from oval to that X, the Dromer cars at the Sportsdrome?
You know, I thought there would be a real big change, a lot of difference, but, after you do it, a little bit, it's just, I guess it's just, like riding a bike.
Is it more about the setup, because now you're turning right and turning left instead of just a constant left-hand turn? Is that the biggest difference in terms of the car?
Yeah, obviously on the oval, everything was left-sided and everything, but, you just equal the car out the best as possible, and it's more to it than that, but it is a lot different.
Well, he's Alan Williams Jr. Look for the Big M, the big McDonald's car at the Sportsdrome, Salem and Anderson. He's Scott Douglas. I'm Craig Hoffman. Good having you with us here on the Lucas Oil Online Race Report. Enjoy the racing.